Day 2 of the 54th IFFI, and it is already all work and just a little play for the team as we bring you the lowdown on all the action at the festival. With a dozen venues to choose from, cinephiles and media persons are flitting to and fro between screenings and masterclasses, competitions and more.
Athanasios, can you please talk to us and tell us a little more about your role in this film and the storyline of this lovely film?
We have a family with two brothers and a sister, and the father of them, who is ill, he's very old, he's 80 years old. He stays in my house, the older child. The two brothers and the sister organize a reunion to celebrate the birthday of their father. But discussing some problems are starting to appear, and the cause is the money of their father and the house of their father, and who will take it. So they fight each other, and of course I don't will tell the end. It is not a happy end. My role is the big brother in whose house father stays, but I can't afford anymore to take care of him. And so I ask from the others to take their responsibilities about their father. We, the humans, we are losing our humanity. We focus on money and property and lose our relations with the people who we love and all the community, and that's the problem, I think.
Dignity is the name of the film, and of course, dignity is what you spoke about as well. But as an actor in this film, what were some of the challenges that you and the cast would have come across? Because it is a serious topic. It is a topic which people from across the globe can understand. So much so that your film won the Best Film Audience Award. So, as an actor, you're doing something correct when the audience is appreciating what you are putting out there. So what were some of the challenges you had getting into the role of this film?
The challenges were to build relations between us, because all the film is shot in a small house. It's like a theater piece. The camera is moving continuously, taking the reactions of all the actors. So you have to play any second. We didn't know when we were played if camera looks at us or at the others. So that's a difficulty for the shooting, to build real reactions, to live all the time in the shooting.
All right, thank you so much, and all the very best for the future as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview and the hospitality. Thank you, IFFI Goa.
The land of freedom and dreams, Bela America. Lushan Fernandes got a bite with its Portuguese director, António Ferreira.
You stay in one of Portugal's most beautiful cities, Coimbra. Does that inspire your ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there, although I've been living around the world a little bit since I'm a grown-up. But Coimbra is my hometown, so every time I write a story, if the story fits, which usually does, and because it's inspiring for me, I try to shoot it in Coimbra and set up my action in this city.
So what has been the journey of Bela America? Is it the way to a woman's heart through her stomach?
Yeah, in a way, you say that you win somebody by the stomach. So that actually that was one of the ideas behind the story building, and yeah, because it is important for the story that this guy, Lucas, which is a really poor guy, kind of ugly, which would never win the heart of such a beautiful woman like America. So he must have a really great talent, something that will surprise her, and that's where the idea comes from cooking to her, which everybody likes eating, and it could be really surprising sometimes when it brings you memories, brings you feelings. So that was the idea behind it, and that she tastes this food without knowing him. So she can imagine anybody behind the food she's eating. She probably she imagines a really sophisticated guy, chef or whatever. But no, it's Lucas, this humble guy that comes from the suburbs, but he has this really great talent.
In the movie, you have shown the disparity in society very well. Was that your main idea of the movie?
Yes, that's what I want to talk about social class struggle, which sounds old-fashioned, but unfortunately it's still there, and actually it's becoming worse. And I wanted to talk about these social differences, which in a rich societies like the ones we have in the Western world, like in Portugal or Europe, which are very wealthy, and more you see people living in the streets, more and more you see people needing aids to have something to eat, and for me that's striking. It's not justifiable. It shouldn't be happening. So I try to make build a narrative that it's catchy for the viewer, that it's interesting for them, that somehow entertains the viewer, but also speaks about serious issues that should be addressed.
It's a very unique and touching movie.
Thank you.
And now a personal question. Can you tell us more about your nickname, Tonica?
Tony Ferrino. Oh, that's how, because I used to work as a DOP, as a director of photography, and also as a DJ. I still do some DJing, so I have this other character, which is Tony Ferrino, that I use. I like using it. I still use it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
It
very
was a pleasure speaking with you, and all the best.
Would any festival be without delegates to consume the feast on offer? Bambino Dias spoke to a couple of them to check the pulse of the festival.
Feed 54 is at its peak. We have Mohan, who's come all the way from Vijayawada. He's been part of IFFI for the last 3 years, and he's here with us on DD Goa to speak about his experiences being part of the film festival here. Mohan, it's really nice to have you speak to us on DD Goa. Yes. So you come from Vijayawada. Do you make it a point to be here for the last 3?
Basically, I like movies. I'm a movie maker and movie lover, and my practice is advocate since 35 years. I have taken 15 short films in my regional language, but I'm very fashion and to see the international film festival, attending festivals, and it's very fortunate to see such type of beautiful films, and both stories, technicalities from direction way, editing way, and photography and everything. So we observe all these aspects. It is a mosaic of arts. Film is a mosaic of arts. 24 crafts. So we enjoy each and every craft. What we cannot see outside, isn't it? And that too, this venue, Sundara Goa, seeing these beautiful films in beautiful place, beautiful venue, it is quite exciting. We cannot forget it, this type of event. And yesterday we have seen Moro, and today I have seen Thunder. Beautiful movies. They are up to Oscar awards. Of course, they were not sent to the Oscar. Personal feeling. And this morning we had a very exciting program, a master class with Vijay Sethupathi and another director, Muzado. So all these classes they have enlightened us what they are doing behind the screen. Just we are seeing the screen only, just 2 hours. But behind the screen, what is their labor, what effort, and their homework. They explained very well. So at this age, really, I enjoyed a lot of. There are no words to describe my pleasure seeing films in Goa.
Eminent director Vetri Maran's latest offering is Tamil film Viduthalai. He shared some thoughts with our correspondent Oreena Vaz.
இனிமேல் அதிகாரத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு விசாரன்ற பேரில் பொம்பளைங்க மேலே கை வச்சா கேட்குறது நம்ம வருவோன்ற மரண பயம் வரணும்.
வருதா?
We have with us a popular gentleman in the Tamil film industry. He was so eloquent this morning, Mr. Vetri Maran. Sir, I want to ask you about this crossover appeal that South Indian film industry has, it's taken off with a boom. What can you say about that?
See, I think it's more representative of the common man. I don't know if I can say this, but Hindi films are what I wish to be. It's more on the fantastic side.
Yes.
But the South Indian films, it might be done in a very subtle, composed way or in a very extravagant way, but it just addresses the issues of the common man and it represents the common man. I think that is the reason why these films are working here. When South Indian filmmakers like Atli is coming and making a film here and he's doing something big because he's raising the question of a common man. I think that's the reason why it's working.
Yeah. This film industry touches the hearts, as you said. And when you read a book, you said it should strike a chord with you, and that's how you make the film. So a little bit on that.
Okay, for me, the chord is either it does it deal with an existential crisis? Does it deal with the irony of existence or a belief system, be it a religious belief system, a political belief system? Does it question that, or does it push me out of my comfort zone and make me look at someone else's life and wonder how did they manage to survive this hardship? That kind of a thing. That is something that immediately strikes a chord with me. And if a story is untold, if a story is not heard, then I feel it my duty to make sure that story is heard.
Thank you for bringing out these stories to all of us out here at the film festival and to all your fans all over the world. Thank you so much.
Filmmakers travel all over the world to find and film authentic stories. Writer-director Angelos Rallis came from Greece all the way to Bangladesh to film Mighty Afreen in the time of floods. Find out more with Shalane Estibeiro.
Hello everyone, we are happy to have one of an award-winning film director and writer amongst us, Mr. Angelos Rallis. Thank you for joining us, sir. Could you tell us a little bit about your film Mighty Afreen in the time of floods?
Yes, thank you for the introduction. Mighty Afreen in the time of floods is a film about climate crisis. At the same time, it's a coming-of-age story of an orphan girl, Afreen, who lives in a very difficult environment in the mud island of the Brahmaputra River. It's a place where floods, severe floods, are increasing year to year, affecting the lives of hundreds of millions of people who live in that area. So it is a film about displacement, about climate displacement, about climatic refugees, about the influx from the countryside to the city due to the climate. And it is an urgent topic that addresses important situation and asks the world community, the United Nations, the governments, all the world to take action against climate change and to eventually recognize the term climatic refugee.
Can you tell us what inspired you to write this film?
I have a background in photography and anthropology, ethnography. So I'm particularly interested in topics around the world that suffer from inattention. I decided to make a film about people who live in water, in flood water for months,
and pretty much rely on their own capability, on their strength to resist, but also to adapt on these challenges. It's a very crucial term because there is no one there to help them. So what happens when you are in the middle of the river, in a mud island, and a severe cyclone hits, which comes with 2-3 meters water? That was the question that made me want to visit the area and concentrate on a film.
Lastly, sir, could you tell us, being from Greece, how did you choose the cast for this movie?
Yeah, I chose the cast as any other film I did. I visited the location and I came across different people living in the area that I was interested in. And after a while, it was accidental. I came across Afrin, a person who lives in isolation, orphaned by mother, abandoned by father. Afrin is victimized, but also fearless. Afrin is not afraid of the floods and severe cyclones. As a young person, she has the capacity to laugh, play, and dream, like every other person in her age.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. It was such a pleasure to have you with us.
The world of comics is one that people of all ages can escape to. And which of us does not know of Archie Andrews, Betty Cooper, Veronica Lodge, and Jughead Jones? But what happens when the worlds of Riverdale and Bollywood collide? Priti Soiru caught up with all their secrets during the masterclass on The Archies Made in India.
कला अकादमीत मास्टर क्लास विभागात द आर्चीज ह्या मुखार डिसेंबर म्हयन्याच्या 7 तारखेक नेटफ्लिक्सार येवपी फिल्माचेर चर्चा जाली. आर्ची हो टायगर बेबी प्रोडक्शन निर्मीत आनी झोया अख्तर दिग्दर्शीत भारतीय हिंदी भाशेंतलो टीन म्युझिकल कॉमेडी चित्रपट. आर्ची हो फामाद अमेरिकन कॉमिक बुकचेर आधारीत पयलोच असो भारतीय चित्रपट आनी ह्या चित्रपटान आर्ची मुखेल कॅरेक्टर, म्युझिकल ट्रेडिशन, फ्रेंडशीप, लव, फिलिंग्स, ओल्ड फ्रेंड्स, गँग एंड डान्स हाचेर मिश्र मेळ दाखोवपी असो सुपर्ब फिल्म आसा. आनी ह्या फिल्मा विशीं उलयतना झोया सांगताली,
My in to this was honestly, I love it. Yeah. I think it was just love. And I wanted to put that feeling, like what you said, because the comics, they're episodic in nature. Now we are converting it into a 2-hour narrative. But that feeling that you get when you read that comic as a 12-year-old, I just wanted to transmit that feeling to someone that watches the film.
वयात येवपी भुरगीं आनी तांचे भितरलें भुरगेपण तांची भावना ह्या फिल्मांत उक्तायल्या. फिल्मांत ग्रीनरी, ग्रीन पार्क, झाडां वाचप, पर्यावरणा विशयी मोग व्यक्त केला. आणि येस, डीडी गोवा आता टाटा स्काय 1995 1995 चेर ट्यून इन करपाक विसरू नाकात. देव बरें करूं. पत्र सूचना कार्यालयात शैलेंद्र सिंग, रायटर, प्रोड्युसर, डिरेक्टर, आपली मुखार येवपी 11 फिल्मां ताणें आयज घोशीत केली. ताज्या खातीर इफीचो हो मंच म्हळ्यार ऊंच उडपी पाखां. आतां पर्यंत ताची 72 मोशन फिल्मां केल्या आनी तो म्हणटा, एक और एक दो नहीं होते लेकिन 11 होते है. शैलेंद्र सिंग हांणी मुखार येवपी 11 फिल्मां म्हळ्यार प्लुटो, सेक्वेंजर्स, डॉक्टर डॅग, ताजे उपरांत चवथे तांचें फिल्म म्हळ्यार लवर्स, आनी हें फिल्म गोंयान खंय ताणें शूट केलां. ताजे उपरांत ताजें 5वें फिल्म जें येवपाचें आसा तें म्हळ्यार स्टोरी ऑफ डानील, आनी ताजे उपरांत सेक्साहॉलीक हें 4वें पिक्चर, आनी ताजे उपरांत 7वें फिल्म ट्रिगिडम. ट्रिगिडम स्टोरी म्हळ्यार लिव इन रिलेशनशीपचेर आधारीत आसा आनी ताजे उपरांत 8वें तेजें फिल्म जें जावन आसा परफेक्ट डिवोर्स. आतां तो कितें म्हणटा की डिवोर्स हो खंय बायलांनी केल्लो एक परफेक्ट प्लॅन आसा. तर हें पिक्चर मुद्दाम पळया. आनी 9वें फिल्म खुद की खुशी. येस, खुद की खुशी म्हटल्यार जीव दिवप न्हू, म्हळ्यार स्वताचो आनंद दर्शोवपी हें फिल्म. ताजे उपरांत 10वें फिल्म मल्याळम भाशेंतलें फिल्म आसा आनी जाचें नांव आसा बॅटल ऑफ 340. सो हे पिक्चर जे आसा ते एक कार्पेंटराचेर आधारीत आसा जो आपली प्रॉमीस दवरता. आनी ताजें निमणें 11वें फिल्म तें म्हळ्यार ब्रदर. येस, हे फिल्म शैलेंद्र हांच्या जिवनांत खरी घडलेली कथा फॅमिली बिझनस हाचे मदलो एक त्रिकोण व्यक्त करता. मुखार आनिकूय आमी घेवन येता अशीच जायती म्हायती तुमच्या खातीर. जोडून रावा डीडी गोवा.
With so much on offer, it's good to know what films to pick. And who better than our in-house expert, Sachin Chatte, to give you the best tips. Hey Sachin, you're the man to catch to give us all the lowdown on what to pick. So tell us, what have you watched today and what should we look at over the next day and maybe through the festival, things that are unmissable?
Yeah, this time there are a lot of what we call B-tier films, the second tier films, because many of the big films are missing at the festival. But today I caught a film called Close Your Eyes, which is one of the slow burners.
Yep.
It's almost a 3-hour film, about 169 minutes, but it kind of pays off at the end. Today evening there was a wonderful film called Anatomy of a Fall, which I had seen before, and you should not miss if there is a repeat screening of the film, because that is definitely one of the best films at the festival, which I would say, along with Zone of Interest, which also won at Cannes, and of course the Mid-Fest film about dry grasses is something to definitely not miss at the festival. These are among the top films. As I said, not too many big films at the festival this time. One of them, or rather one of the smaller, the B-tier films would be what's being screened tomorrow called Sira. It's set in Africa about this girl and her struggle against what's happening in the society. So that won the award at Berlin, an audience award at Berlin. So that's one of them. There's also a Polish film called The Peasants, which is based on a novel which won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So the film is based on that, about a 19th century girl who marries an elderly man who's very, very rich. So that sounds very familiar, but the way the film is made, apparently it's very interesting. I haven't seen it, but that's something I'm looking forward to. There's another British film with a rather curious title called How to Have Sex. But the title may be slightly misleading. It's a coming of age story, which again has done fantastically well. So these are a couple of films which one can look forward to tomorrow. There's another repeat screening of Snow Leopard, which had a screening today as well. So that also sounds interesting, of a father and son story and a leopard there in between them. So those are the few films which one can look forward to tomorrow. Of course, there's About Dry Grasses, which is on 24th, which is day after tomorrow. And one should prepare for it because it's a 3-hour, 17-minute film. So you have to be prepared for a nice long marathon. But that's how most of Nuri Bilge Ceylan's films are. They are long, but they are very fascinating.
Okay, great. Anything that's unmissable in the Indian panorama section?
I would have said Atom was unmissable, but that was the opening film. So that's done. A lot of films are kind of unreleased and middle of the road kind of films. So not a great deal of fireworks as far as the Indian panorama is concerned, because you also have a lot of films which have released. And we had Vad today, which has been to the theatres here. But there was Sanjay Mishra at the screening, which was kind of an additional attraction. But otherwise, there are films which have released before. What you would like to see at the festival is to discover films, unreleased films. But that's how the
films
cookie
that you are
crumbles
not
in
likely
the
to
Indian
see
panorama.
on the commercial circuit and that you will only have on festival circuit.
Yes, exactly. And some of the films have already released in theatres. We also have Kantara and all, which released almost 14-15 months back. So there isn't a lot. Atom I would have said was
in fact, I was going to ask, is there any likelihood that they might rescreen Atom? Because there seem to be quite a few slots where it could fit in.
I guess that's a total call. But over the years, if you have seen in the last 5-6 years, there's never a change in the programming as such. You don't see any additional shows being added, which used to be the case once upon a time. In fact, earlier in the day, the press screenings used to start 2 days before IFFI. So IFFI used to start on 20th, on 19th and 18th. Press could actually go and watch many of the films before. Anybody could go and walk. But that process has been discontinued for almost 7-8 years or thereabouts now. Then it became 1 day and then it became 0 days. So, so we don't really know whether there'll
More
be
pity for us. But anyway, that's a teaser on all of today's cinematic joy. You can now catch Doordarshan Goa on Tata Play on channel 1995, that's 1995. There is lots more to immerse yourself in for the next 7 days. क्योंकि दोस्तों, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है.